Hello. Okay, I think it's time. Good afternoon. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, good afternoon. Hello,
Please,
everyone.
recording, please.
Since it's already been recorded.
Really? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So, hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session. Today, we are commemorating Menstrual Hygiene Day 2025. And today's meeting is being organized by Hokkaido University in collaboration with the University of Melbourne and other members and colleagues from other countries. So I am Joy Sambo from Hokkaido University, and together with my partner, Nanitza Man, will be your chairs for today. So first of all, on behalf of Hokkaido University and other countries and organizations present, would like to welcome you to today's meeting. Today's agenda is as follows, and we'll be beginning with welcome remarks by Professor Taria Mauchi and Professor Richard Chenho. And so without further ado, I'd like to invite our first speaker for today, who is Professor Taria Mauchi, to give us the welcome remarks.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is Tara Mauch, Professor of Human Ecology and Planetary Health from Hokkaido University. It is a joy and true honor to welcome you to this special gathering of our first ever celebration of Menstrual Health Day. Today, we are not here for an academic conference, formal presentations, or long lectures. Instead, we are here to celebrate, connect, communicate, and reflect together. This event is dedicated to embracing women's health, breaking the silence, and creating space for open, respectful, and joyful dialogue. We want this to be a friendly, uplifting, and inclusive safe place where everyone feels welcome, regardless of their background, gender, age, or field of expertise. So why May 28th? It's symbolic. The 28 represents the average number of days in menstruation cycle, and the fifth month represents the average number of days menstruation lasts. Together, this date was chosen globally to send a powerful message that menstruation matters, and that a world where every person can manage their periods with dignity is not just a dream, but a shared goal. This year's global theme, Together for a Period-Friendly World, is a reminder that this is not just a women's issue, but a human rights issue. A world where no one feels ashamed of their body. A world where students can attend school confidently. Workers have the facilities and support they need, and no one is left behind because of a natural biological process. Here at Hokkaido University and the International Society for Sanitation Studies, ISSS, this message is worth celebrating. We are proud to come together with students, researchers, advocates, artists, practitioners, and friends worldwide to celebrate progress, sharing stories, highlight innovations, and stand together in solidarity. Throughout this event, you will hear short presentation, creative message, and lived experiences from different countries and communities. We invite you to listen, laugh, question, and imagine what a truly period-friendly world would look like. Let us make this not just the first of many events, but a spark that grows into a stronger movement in Japan, Australia, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Zambia, Cameroon, and beyond. Thank you for being here. Let's celebrate this special day with courage, kindness, and joy. Let's begin. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Yamauchi. Professor Yamauchi is a professor from the Faculty of Health Science and also director for the Center of Environmental Sciences. Again, thank you, Yamauchi Sensei. And now I'd like us to move on to our second speaker, who is Professor Richard Chenho, and he will be giving us welcome remarks as well. Professor Chenho is from Melbourne School of Population and Global Health, and also the director of the Center of Health Equity. And he is currently a professor in medical anthropology. Professor Chenho, the time is yours.
Thank you, Joy, and welcome everybody. Welcome from autumn in Melbourne, getting cooler here. I'd like to just first to acknowledge that I'm zooming in from the traditional countries of the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung peoples of the Kulin Nation down here in Nam, and I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and to extend that to any of our Indigenous colleagues here today. So greetings everyone, it's really great to be able to attend this event, and thank you to you for being here for this meaningful occasion, the very first Menstrual Health Day organised by us at Hokkaido University and University of Melbourne. And as we know today, on the 28th of May, we join people around the world in marking a date that carries quite symbolic meaning. It reminds us of the importance of recognising, respecting and responding to menstrual health as a vital part of human dignity, public health and gender equality. This year's global theme encourages to envisage and create a world where menstruation is not just a source of shame or stigma, but it's a natural part of life, supported by understanding, adequate resources and care. And so we're very proud to host this inaugural event. And I want to emphasise that menstrual health matters to everyone. It's a cross-cutting issue that touches health, education, gender, race, infrastructure, social norms, policy contexts. It really does affect us all, regardless of gender or geography. So today we're bringing together a diverse group of participants from universities, from NGOs and global networks to learn from each other, to share stories and challenges and stand in solidarity. We'll hear some brief country presentations up first, aligned with the Menstrual Health Day theme, as well as some takeaway messages from our partners. This event is a space to amplify voices, showcase local innovations, challenges and opportunities, as well as showcase diverse experiences and to build some new bridges, we hope. So I really want to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who made this event possible, from our colleagues and each one of you for joining us online from around the world. Let's use this moment to inspire continued action on campuses, in classrooms, in policies, in our own homes and communities, so that menstruation is no longer a barrier, but it's really a bridge to empowerment. So thank you, and let's work together towards a period-friendly world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Chenho. And now we'll be moving on to our third speaker, who is no other than Miss Igna. Sure. So I'll just share my screen so that we can see. All right, so our next presenter. Okay, so now it is yet my pleasure and great privilege to call upon a special guest who is in our midst today. Ms. Igna is a menstrual health champion based at the International Menstrual Hygiene Secretariat. She has over 15 years of extensive expertise in the areas of water, sanitation, and hygiene. WASH. She is also an engineer by profession and holds a master's degree in public policy. She has worked in a range of developing and emerging countries on long-term and short-term assignments for different UN agencies, the German government, as well as other key sector partners. She has been working for WASH United in Berlin since 2012. And WASH United is a social impact organization which focuses on advocacy, education, and for sanitation, hygiene, and menstrual hygiene. In 2014, she co-initiated and leads since then the International Secretariat for Menstrual Hygiene Day. In this role, she manages the global strategy, partnerships, and related policy work. From this background, we are indeed honored to have Ms. Igna with us today to commemorate and celebrate our first Menstrual Hygiene Day 2025 together. Please allow me to welcome Ms. Igna. The time is yours.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome and hello. Happy Menstrual Hygiene Day to you all around the world. And it's really my pleasure to kick off my day. And I'm dressed in red, so I'm merging with the background with this international webinar with you all today. When we initiate, so as you rightly say, I came with a sanitation background, and it was really, as a female, shocking to me that back then, 20, 15 years ago, no one really talked about menstruation when building toilets, when doing awareness session, etc. And then a few inspiring people started to raise the alarm, like that we have to think about the monthly period, also when building toilets. Women don't have enough pads. Women are not educated, and the whole stigma around the issue of menstruation was the biggest barrier to start progress on this. So that's why 11 years ago, we initiated Menstrual Hygiene Day, a day dedicated to create awareness and drive advocacy and action on menstrual health and hygiene. And I think there's rightly said, it's also now a day to spark joy, to celebrate, and to just have to just have a day to come together and feel, and also, as Dr. Yamauchi said, the solidarity. And that's why I really wanted to be with you today and allow me to step out later, because I feel your webinar is showing the solidarity across the globe. In different countries with you as students. And I also want to see the solidarity by men. So as Dr. Yamauchi and Dr. Channel before me, they're really advocates and champions and allies for this issue, because without boys and men, it's only half of the story. Because if women and girls are more healthy, are feeling like have a dignified and well-being life, everybody benefits, right? The whole society. So thank you for your support in this. And I also, and my conclude is that I really, 15 years ago, when no one dared to talk about this, there's not enough data, there's not enough research. But now I wanted to be here to also thank you for working on the issue, to provide research from your perspective, from your angle, or maybe in the future, because only together we can create a period-friendly world. And we need research and data to make the case and to also improve programming and policies. So with that, I wish you a wonderful day. I keep listening in, but I will drop out because, of course, the day is crazy busy. If you want to tweet not tweet, we don't tweet anymore. But if you want to make a post today on social media, just use the hashtag MHDay 2025 or hashtag period-friendly-world, so we can find you. And with that, thanks again for the invite. And yeah, let's kick off the wonderful webinar.
Much, Ms. Ina, and thank you all to the past presenters that we've had. A hand of applause indeed. All right, so we'll be moving on to the next and interesting segment of our meeting today, and that is to listen to country sessions. Specific countries will be sharing their global perspective on menstrual hygiene discussions, and these will address and engage us in what activities they are doing in various locations. So this will be the rest of our program for today's event. Please allow me to go through the country sessions presentation as follows. So as mentioned, we'll have presentations from 6 countries in the order shown here. The meeting is scheduled to run to about 4:30 Japanese Standard Time. And so we'll begin with a presentation from our colleagues in Australia, and they will be sharing about the menstrual hygiene issues, challenges, opportunities, and topics of interest in Australia. And I think we will begin from there. I will introduce each country as we proceed. So after Australia, we'll have a presentation from Japan. So Team Australia, if you're ready, I think you can begin your presentation.
Thanks, Joy. Maybe I can introduce you, Farhana. I don't know if you've tried sharing slides. While you're doing that, I can introduce you a little bit. And just to give some apologies from our team, usually at these meetings with our Hokkaido University, we have some others present. In particular, we usually have Dr. Julie Hennigan from the Burnett Institute, which is where Farhana works. And Julie and I are also supervising a student who's been conducting research in Bali, and her name is Heather Sutter, but they're currently at the Menstrual Research Network conference in East London. I'll pop it in the chat, where Julie's sharing some results from her work to understand young people's experience using menstrual cups in Australia, and also a qualitative study using social norms theory to look at exploration of social norms and impact in Bangladesh. So they send their apologies. They're probably asleep or having dinner or something like this in London at the moment, but getting ready for the conference in London tomorrow, but today. But Farhana, you're back here holding the fort at Burnett. Farhana, you're a research assistant at Burnett, which is a research institute here in Melbourne, but you're also an associate scientist at the ICDDR in Bangladesh, and you've got lots of experience working in wash and menstrual health in Bangladesh with over 15 years of experience in lots of different kind of topics. And your kind of team's ongoing research in Bangladesh has been looking at the associations between heavy menstrual bleeding and anemia. You've been developing a nutrient bar to combat iron deficiency, developing some animated videos, some really exciting kind of work. But today, and you've got degrees from all over the world. You did an MPH in global health with us at the University of Melbourne, but also have studied at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, and you studied social anthropology in Bangladesh as well. So a really great research background there. But today you're talking about your PhD research at Monash University. So we're really excited to hear about the work that you're doing. So over to you.
Thank you so much, Richard. That was so warm. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for the opportunity to showcase some of our sustainable menstrual hygiene product-related innovations in Bangladesh context. So let me start by sharing, Let me start sharing this story of Shahana, who was an 11-year-old girl. She was using rags to manage her menstruation that she dried under a bean tree, and a harmful insect settled in that rag that she didn't notice while she was reusing the rag, and it inserted to her uterus. She fell sick and she eventually died. So I'm just sharing to just brainstorm what was the problem with her actually. So she was using rags, or stigma prevented her to dry under sunlight, direct sunlight, or she didn't maintain or store it properly. Well, these are the problems, of course, but that has been acknowledged and used to promote disposable pads in Bangladeshi context by many of the NGOs or manufacturers. But we know that women has an average of 452 periods in their lifetime. So if they use 4 pads per cycle, they will be producing 9,360 pads in their entire lifetime. And there are over 54 million menstruating women and girls in Bangladesh. So the potential waste would be 505 billion, which is huge. And we know that these disposable pads, they use polyethylene, that is a plastic sheet that doesn't decompose within at least 800 years. And Bangladesh lack proper waste management system. On top of that, it has negative impact, plus there are high duty taxed. So it is expensive for most of the women and girls in Bangladesh. Interestingly, the recent data suggests that more than 65% of the women and 50% of the adults and girls use cloth or old sari or rag to manage their menstruation. However, the proper maintenance, washing and drying is suboptimal. So rather shifting these 65% of the women and 50% of the adults and girls to an environmentally unfriendly options of using disposable pads, we were just trying to create supportive environment and low-cost alternative products to improve the menstrual health and hygiene in Bangladeshi context, designing some technologies and seeing the acceptability and feasibility of these things in different settings. We performed a lot of proof of concept study in Dhaka, in Bangladesh, and it was in the schools in urban and rural areas, the ready-made garment factories, the slums, and the population where the children from school, the female garment worker, and the women and girls from the slums. And we have used different kind of approaches, including human-centered design. We did some baseline survey, VNet approaches, inline survey, fidelity assessments, and qualitative assessments to develop as well as to evaluate the impact of these innovations. So the solutions we have developed so far is one is Sultana pad, which is a cloth pad. I'll be talking about that later. And then waterproof storage bag so that the girls and women can store the stained cloth in this plastic, waterproof bag, actually, not plastic, it's environment friendly, and take back to home to clean and wash. Jute cellulose based disposable pad, which is a biodegradable pad. Then we developed a washer and dryer bag, which is to support the hygienic maintenance of cloth or old sari or rag or usable cloth pad. We had a national level of advisory group that we lobbied later, and now we have the MHM platform in Bangladesh. Menstrual tracking calendar. We did develop self-efficacy needs scale and some puberty education materials and the nutrient bar to combat micronutrient deficiency among the adults and girls in Bangladesh. So the pad, Sultana pad is a simple innovation. It's a flannel cloth. It looks like a handkerchief. There is a polymicro fabric as an absorbent attached to use as a waterproof barrier, and women and girls just fold it to use as pad. And the novelty is like, unlike the comparable products, it doesn't look like sanitary pads, so removes the stigma. You can see they're drying under the direct sunlight from the pictures here. So it's locally available, locally made. You can see from the picture at the bottom that this is a tailor actually who made this one, who was demonstrating how to make this one. And it requires significantly fewer steps to make this one. So girls and women can make them by themselves as well if they want to buy the materials from the market. So the uptake was like we have seen in the schools, 26 to 34% of the girls used at both at the school, both at home and outside or at the school. But the ready-made garment workers like had they liked it more actually. So 6% used it both at the home and outside. And the impact was in the school, it reduced school absenteeism by 8% within 6 months of intervention. And then also in the ready-made garment factories, it has a 1% of reduction in absenteeism in the ready-made garment factories. So the second innovation was the washer bag, Sultana washer bag. It is a simple bag again, looks rectangular and is made of waterproof polyester fabric, and a scrubbing pad is attached in the inner part of the bag, so girls and women can scrub the menstrual cloth or pad, and the bag can be sealed with a strap at one end while washing and draining the water afterward. So it provides discreetness actually. The dryer bag is a mesh bag, black in color to provide maximum sunlight, and ventilation through the mesh allows the both light and air pass easily. So drying inside this bag makes it less visible and maintains the privacy and dignity. So the benefits and use 67% used that, and they said that they didn't need to touch. It provided confidentiality. So I'm just going quickly because I don't have much time, I would say. And then the jute cellulose based sanitary pads. So the development phase was we collaborated with one of the scientists in Bangladesh. His name was Mubarak Ahmed Khan. So this is jute fiber in Bangladesh, locally grown and abundant. This is the raw jute or the dried jute. We collected wastage jute or caddies, and from where we have extracted the jute cellulose, and we mixed with some chemicals, and we made these different layers of the pad, 3 different layers, and these were the very first part of the pad. Like we're still working on this one to do some trials and acceptability. The benefits was, of course, environment friendly, sustainable, and the women and girls found it healthier, hygienic, and they were willing to pay and recommend it for others as well. And the beauty of this pad was like it was 100% biodegradable in dry soil or in moist soil or in very moist soil compared to the locally available disposable sanitary pads that you can see from the pictures. So in conclusion, we would like to say that the Sutana pad is low cost, comfortable, it reduces absenteeism, and it provided comfort, familiarity, because most of the women and girls are using cloth. So this is an improved option for them. And the users were satisfied with the effectiveness, discreetness, and comfort of the washer and dryer bags. And the jute cellulose base pad actually was lightweight, comfortable, and biodegradable. So this suggested us that the innovations were acceptable, feasible, and has potential for sustainability or scale out. We're currently running some RCTs of these innovations as well. And the impact was like the Sultana pad received patent in Bangladesh. The washer and dryer bag was featured by BBC World Service, and then the American Society for Tropical Medicine and Hygiene provide us some grant prize on this jute cellulose based pad and also to develop the machine. So we were funded by Gates Foundation, Grant Changes Canada, ISDB, and HSBC Bank. These were some of the innovations from Bangladesh, but we're also doing, as part of Barnet, this AMEG study, which is a longitudinal cohort. We started in 2022. We did baseline survey, we did our wave 1, and we're currently doing the wave 3. We're hoping to share some findings in the future webinars or future seminars. Thank you so much. Happy to answer questions.
Thank you so much, Farhana. Thank you, Professor Chen Ho. I think in the interest of time, we can share our questions and comments in the chat box, and this will allow other participants to continue with the session. So again, thank you, Team Australia, for that wonderful presentation. And now I'd like us to move on to our next discussion, country session by Japan, and this will be led by Dr. Skoko Nyambe. The time is yours.
Thank you for the kind introduction. Just give me a moment to share my screen and shift. Okay, great. So thank you, and happy Menstrual Hygiene Day to everyone. My name is Kunyambe, and I'm talking about working toward a period-friendly Japan. And so I've been doing this work with my colleagues from Hokkaido University, whose names are below there. And we'll just get started just to share very briefly about what we've done for the past 3 or so years. So what have we been doing in Japan? We have been doing or collecting data from Japanese and international women and men living in Sapporo, Hokkaido, the northern province or prefecture of Japan. And we've had just several surveys and interviews, focus groups, and even some artwork through workshops And we're just asking a very simple question. What are your experiences with menstruation in Japan? And so what have we heard from women? So we've heard maybe a mix of challenges and coping strategies. So firstly, even though Japan is a developed country, there is still period poverty. There is still trouble to access affordable sanitary products. And so this causes, of course, stress, and more especially for foreign residents living here in Sapporo. There's also issues of shame and silence. And we realize this is actually very common across Japanese women and the foreign residents living here. And most women cope by using either products longer if they cannot change them, or sometimes substituting with other products like maybe toilet paper or kitchen paper, missing things or work, or they just have to hide their pain. So I think this is a general story in many countries around the world as well. Some take medication or low-dose pills, which is also contraception, but there's still a lot of stigma towards women doing this, not just from men, but also from other women. And what do we hear from men? So I think one common theme is that menstruation is still a taboo. So some of the men we spoke to want to be supportive, but they feel unsure. They don't know how to be supportive. They feel if they talk about it, they might be looked at with questions. Like, why do you want to know? Why are you asking such intimate details? So most of them learned from social media about menstruation, not from their school. And some felt that they might offend if they asked questions, and there was generally this need for open, respectful conversation that was brought up. So this is a very brief presentation, but I'm just gonna summarize and like our final thoughts really. Definitely that periods are global. As much as we talked to so many different women, there were several like similar themes. And one important thing, of course, that we realized is that culture shapes how we talk or don't talk about menstruation. So across different countries, many women face the same struggles. So before I end my presentation, and as I'm talking of periods being global, it's just a little icebreaker or warm up. In the chat, I'll be happy if you just write, how do you say menstruation in your language? How much time can I give? How much time do I have? A minute? A minute? How do you say menstruation in your language? Please just take a little time to put that in the chat, because this is about breaking those barriers. Cool. So, in Japanese, geki, theory. Oh, okay, I have Shona. Kwenda kumwezi. I'm making my pronunciation is bad. Yes, so I'm hearing from my friends here from Zambia that it's very similar. Oh, and then Ina says strawberry week. That's fun. Okay. Then menstruasi. Is that how it is pronounced in Bahasa? Am I correct, Mahmoud? And masik. Okay. So that's all just on the Japan side, and wishing everybody a very happy MH Day and hoping for a period friendly Japan and a period friendly world. Thank you.
Wow,
There's so more in the comments.
Yes, please do continue sending those words, phrases, and terms that you use to define menstruation in your respective languages and countries. Also, do put in the brackets which country or language that is. So thank you so much, Dr. Nyambe, for that informative talk about Japan. And now we will move on to our next country session, and that's no other than Cameroon. And we will be listening to a presentation by Ms. Kamea and Dr. Said. Please do go ahead with your presentation from now. And of course, do leave your comments and feedback in the chat for our presenters, and we continue the program. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Joy, for introducing us. My name is Akira Sai, and I'm from Hokkaido University. I think I need to share the screen first. Please wait for a moment. Right, so today we will be presenting on the current situation of menstrual health and hygiene in Cameroon. And our presentation will consist of two parts. And for the first part, Ms. Kamia will be presenting on the urban settings, followed by indigenous communities and by myself. So I hope you enjoy our presentation, and I would like to invite Ms. Kamia to give a brief presentation about the situation in urban settings. Ms. Kamia?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sai, for inviting. I start my presentation. So first, sorry, please wait a moment. So I start my presentation. As you know, in recent years, there has been growing role attention to MHH, not only as a health issue, but also as a matter of education, human rights, and gender equality. In Cameroon, existing research points to serious problems, including a lack of menstrual education, access to products, and wash facilities. Menstrual education is often insufficient, and access to sanitary products is limited, particularly for girls from lower-income households. These structural and educational gaps make it difficult for girls to manage menstruation with dignity and comfort. So
Can I move on to the next slide?
Yes, so I move on to our situation. Please move the slides of the sign. Please move next slide. Sorry. Okay, thank you. This study was conducted in Yaoundé, Cameroon, and targeted female students to access their menstrual health and hygiene. We collected data from a total of 216 participants. Dr. Sai, please back to previous slide. Sorry.
You mean this one?
No, previous one. No, he's you can see yes.
Is this the one or
Next. No, next.
next?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So we collected data from a total of 216 participants. Out of these, 98 students were enrolled at the university level, while 118 were from secondary schools. To gather relevant data, we used questionnaire which includes socio-demographic information such as age, skill level, and living conditions, and the priority list of indicators for both menstrual health and hygiene, which help us understand the challenges and priorities that female students identify regarding menstruation management. So let's move on to the next slide. In our research in Yaoundé, we found three key factors influencing menstrual health and hygiene. First, wash conditions were generally poor, especially in secondary schools. Lack of clean and private toilets made it hard for girls to manage their periods safely. Second, menstrual knowledge often depended on mothers. Girls who had higher education were more likely to receive accurate information before their first period. Third, girls from higher income households find it easier to buy menstrual products and access health services. In contrast, those from lower income families have fewer opportunities to seek advice or support. So these findings highlight the importance of improving school wash facilities, promoting menstrual education at home, and ensuring equitable access to resources. So that's wrap up the part of our menstrual health and hygiene in urban areas of Cameroon. I hope this gave you a good sense of what female students in the city are facing. Now let's move on to the situation of indigenous communities. I hand it over to Dr. Sai to take us through the next section. Dr. Sai, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Kamiya, for your presentation. So from now on, I will take over and will present on indigenous communities. So in my presentation, I will present on the menstrual health and hygiene among Baka hunter-gatherers dwelling in Cameroon. So Baka hunter-gatherers are the indigenous people dwelling in Cameroon, particularly in the eastern area. And they used to be historically nomadic, and then later on they shifted to semi-sedentary lifestyle since the 1950s, and due to government's policy and so on. And this shift has caused many changes, including subsistence activities, diets, physical activity patterns, and sanitation. And based on this is our previous study on the Baka hunter-gatherers, female MHM. So according to our previous research, the taboos, they practice open defecation, and for taboos, there are none, and they have similar symptoms that other women have. And regarding the menstrual educations, mothers play a significant role in passing down the menstrual knowledge to girls. And when menstruating, they tend to have more rest, and they also wipe their bodies. And for menstrual products, they use locally accessible materials, which is called matera. This means a sponge to absorb the menstrual blood. Okay, so I'd like to move on to the next slide. So based on our previous findings on Baka hunter-gatherers women's MHM, we decided to conduct interviews for men to examine what kind of role the man plays, and are there any taboos or other cultural values shared by male members. So regarding the menstrual knowledge, this is the most striking finding for us, and that the menstrual knowledge are passed down from man to man, which is contrary to most of the cases in the world. And apparently, in the situation of storytelling, fathers has played a significant role in passing down menstrual knowledge to the son. And the fathers also advise their sons to share their knowledge with the future generations. So this the knowledge sharing system is something that is notable for MHH study, and something we could consider to conceptualize the pure-friendly world. But to allow to allow the sharing of menstrual knowledge among the men, the knowledge sharing by female partners is indispensable. For example, they try to tell the male partners by when having sexual relationships, sexual activities, and also this situation, this phenomenon can happen to an all age group, meaning that the women do share menstrual knowledge with male partners. However, because there are some taboos, secrets, and shame surrounding the menstruation in indigenous communities, this may hinder in the acquiring of the father menstrual knowledge among men. For example, even between the partners, the female members tend to use indirect way to express their menstrual status. As you can see, they use particular expression. For example, I see the moon, and this kind of expression has been widely confirmed by men. Also, because of the secrecy and shame surrounding the menstruation, they do not directly tell men that they are on period. Sometimes there's a case that and the women use men's sisters to tell him about her menstrual status. Also, regarding the shame surrounding the menstruation, it's actually it seems it doesn't seem to contain negative aspects. It rather is for in protecting women. For example, several men has answered that talking about menstruation with others, including their family members, is shame for women. They don't see menstruation as something as negative, something shameful. It's a rather they consider it as a shame to protect their female partners. So to sum up my presentation, regarding the knowledge sharing system among men, among women and men is important. Particularly, our study has highlighted the father's role played in the menstrual and reproductive and health education. Regarding attitude, similar to in other settings, there are some taboos, secrecy, and shame, which may limit acquiring father menstrual knowledge and also support for menstruating women. However, our study through our study, we found that there was no negative connotations behind the menstruation. So these are a key takeaway for our presentation. For urban settings, as Ms. Kamiya mentioned, these three factors may influence appropriate the menstrual health and hygiene. For indigenous communities, the men's role and the cultural values play a massive role. Well, and I hope you enjoy your presentation and happy Menstrual Health Day. Thank you very, very much, Nelson. Joy, I think you need to unmute yourself.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sai. Can you hear me?
Yes, now it's
All
clear.
right. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Sai. We'll be moving on to Bangladesh, and I'll hand over to Mr. Saman and team to continue.
Thank you, Joy. Wonderful MC today. And good afternoon, everyone. Happy Menstrual Hygiene Day. And I'm Muhammad Nahiduzzaman, registered nurse and senior staff nurse working with Ministry of Health and Family Welfare in Bangladesh. Now, currently, I am a PhD student in Hokkaido University, Japan. Before go through our Bangladesh session, I will show our work in Bangladesh, making a short video.
It plays a crucial role in the physical health, emotional well-being, and empowerment of girls and women across the world. In Bangladesh, we've made great progress in water, sanitation, and hygiene. Yet, menstrual hygiene remains an overlooked topic, especially for adult women and our future healthcare professionals, nurses and midwives. Our nationwide study focused on 7 government nursing colleges in 3 diverse regions. We surveyed 366 students, conducted 14 in-depth interviews, and held focus group discussions with both male 21 and female 21 students. We also collaborated workshops with policymakers, including the Directorate General of Nursing and Midwifery and donor agencies. The findings? Embarrassment, lack of proper sanitation, limited access to information are major challenges. Most girls rely only on female relatives for menstrual knowledge. Many feels embarrassment to buy products in front of male family members. And some even carry used pads in their bags, waiting to dispose of them in private. But there is hope. Together with students, we created a picture book highlighting best practices. They emphasize the need for education, product access, and wash facilities, clean water, private toilets, and safe disposal options. We're now running an educational intervention, empowering nursing and midwifery students to break the silence and lead change. Because menstrual health education belongs in schools, in colleges, and in policy. We sincerely thank Smile Lab, Laboratory of Human Ecology, at Hokkaido University, Japan International Cooperation Agency, the Directorate General of Nursing and Midwifery, other donor agencies, the participating colleges, research assistants, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for their support. Happy Menstrual Hygiene Day 2025. Together for a #period-friendly world.
Okay, thank you everyone for watching the video. This is our current work in Bangladesh. Now I would like to request our one research assistant who is working throughout this process, Mrs. Jannatul Firdaus. Could you please? Mrs. Jannat, you can talk now.
Thank you. I am grateful to share my experience as a research assistant. Happy Menstrual Hygiene Day. Distinguished guests, respected faculty and fellow participants, good afternoon. I am honored to share my experience to insight out from our recent study design on menstrual hygiene management among nursing students in Bangladesh. Many participants raised concerns about the cost and waste of the disposable pads. They called for access for the reusable and affordable pads like menstrual cups and cloths pads. If menstrual cups and cloth pads are provided and provide proper guidance on how to use them and how it works as a healthy. Then one student said that if reusable pads uh, are available and if properly explained, then they are willingly to use these pads. This reflects a growing awareness about among the young women balancing their personal comforts and sustainability and especially the cost. So we recommend about the menstrual hygiene health hygiene day that including reusable products in the nursing curriculum and improving the subsidized subsidized pilot programs and promoting peer-led awareness to dispel the myths. menstrual health is not just a personal issue, it also a environmental and economic issue. So let's listen, innovate, and build a more inclusive, period friendly world. Thank you all for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Jannat, for your nice experience throughout this process. Now, I would like to request Mrs. Nargis Begum, who is working with the Director General of Nursing and Midwifery, and she also attended the participation of the workshop last year we did in DGNM premises with the policymakers and the donor agencies. So I would request to Nargis Begum to share your experience.
Thank you, Nahidujaman. Thank you very much, respected organizer. Are you listening?
Yes, yes. Please open your camera. We cannot see you.
Respected organizers, distinguished guests, academic leaders, researchers, and dear participants. Very good afternoon. I am Nargis Begum, working as a senior staff nurse at Director General of Nursing and Midwifery in Dhaka, Bangladesh.
We cannot hear you, Mrs. Nargis Begum. We cannot hear you.
Yes.
Please.
Sorry, I'm very sorry for network connection. Thank you very much, Nahidujaman, and the respected organizers, distinguished guests, and academic leaders, researchers, and dear participants. Very good afternoon. I am Nargis Begum, working as a senior staff nurse at Director General of Nursing and Midwifery in Dhaka, Bangladesh. It is a great opportunity for me to speak at this international important gathering on menstrual health. And I'd like to thank the organizer, Hokkaido University and University of Melbourne, for inviting me to share a few words. As a member of the nursing and midwifery sector of Bangladesh, I had privilege of attending a powerful and eye-opening workshop on menstrual health and hygiene organized by last year by the Director General of Nursing and Midwifery. That workshop brought together policymakers, educators, nurses, midwives, researchers, and donor agencies from across the country. What stood out most to me was the courage and clarity of their daily struggles, from inadequate toilet facilities to the same associated with managing the periods in public and professional spaces. And I remember one student saying, how can I work for my patient with confidence when I have to hide a period like a secret? That statement deeply resonated with me and reminded all of us that policy must start by listening and to the life experience of the people we are trying to support. And following the workshop, our team began working more seriously on the integration of the menstrual health and hygiene. And lastly, I would like to say one thing, that health is not just an health issue. Menstrual health is just not a health issue. It is a matter of gender equality, education, and also human rights. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Nargis Begum, for your wonderful experience that you shared with us. So now I would like to request the current principal of Rajshahi Nursing College, Mrs. Motiara. Could you please share your as a policy makers, because now we are conducting the intervention. So in the Russian Nursing College, we finished. So what is your role in currently as the principal in the Russian Nursing College for your students? Could you please share your some feelings or some experience or some expectation? So now the floor is yours. Mrs. Motiara, Principal, Russian Nursing College. Please unmute. Please unmute your microphone. We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you, madam. Please unmute your microphone. We cannot hear you. Please unmute your microphone. Your microphone is not unmute. Yes, now okay. Please.
Thank you to say something about Ministerial Health and Hygiene first May 2025. Honorable guest and respected organizers, Huangco University and Melbourne distinguished participants and dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Principal Rajshahi Nursing College, Mohammad Mutiara Khatun. I am greeting to all. It is both the honor and pleasure to part the remarkable global events, the first Menstrual Hygiene and Day Symposium, bringing together voice and perspectives from across culture and to improve menstrual health and dignity. At Rajshahi Nursing College, we firmly believe that quality nursing and midwifery education is inseparable from the health and well-being of our students. Recognizing the deep interconnection between ministerial health and academic performance, we took deliberate steps in recent years to strengthen wash facilities in our campus. Thank you for
Thank you, madam, for your nice participation and comment. Now I would like to request our former principal of this college, when we started our pilot study, and also we started our education intervention that time. So I would like to request Dr. Faizur Rahman to say something. So, Dr. Faizur Rahman, are you hear me?
Yes, thank you. Honorable guest, hello.
Yes,
do you hear me?
Yes, please.
Honorable guest, esteemed panelist, moderator, the educators, and the dear participants. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It is an honor to me to address these distinguished global issues. As a former principal of Rajshahi Nursing College, I feel proud to reflect the significant milestone what we achieved during my tenure. The implementation of the structural educational intervention on menstrual hygiene among the students of Rajshahi Nursing College on different courses. So at the time, we observed some of the common issues regarding the student-related issue, like limited access on accurate menstrual information, and the student feel shame and embarrassment while they are going to discuss the menstrual issues. And they are more dependent on the commercial products that they use during their menstrual period. In order to address this issue, we take some of the intervention, like classroom-based ministerial health session among the student management in the existing nursing courses. Then we made some workshop and seminar regarding their practice and how they will dispose their ministerial product, as well as we also arranged some educational training in order to enable our students to become an ambassador of the ministerial health within their own communities. So after the pre and post intervention, what we found, the remarkable changes regarding the student knowledge and attitude is increased. The important thing is that students, they are very interested and keenly they lead their programs. Also within the campus, as well as the clinical practices, where they passing their some of their duty times. I think this initiative was the turning point for the Russian Nursing College, and I'm delighted to see that this legacy of intervention continues today and improve the wash facilities within the college campus. And students, they are being able to open their ministerial disclosure, as well as raising the interested to increase the reusable products. I extend my grateful appreciation to the current leadership of Russian Nursing College, as well as the faculties and the students. Finally, I think that ministerial health reminds us that it is not the luxury, it is the right. And we can achieve it through education. We seek of our nurses, student nurses, to manage their own, as well as their family members and the community as a whole. Through this process, they can keep their initiatives in order to progress within the Bangladesh as well as the beyond. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammad Fazlur, for your words. So this is the scenery of the Bangladesh that our researcher throughout, not only with the research, but also we conclude or include all the policymakers to the initiative for the participants, how we make the environment friendly or make them more accessible and availability of their products in the premises, and also how do we grow our awareness throughout the participants, because the healthcare professionals, they may change the community. So that's all for the Bangladesh side. So thank you. Now I move to Joy. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Zaman and Team Bangladesh. We'll be moving on to Indonesia, and we'll be led by Dr. Rifki and team. Doc, the time is yours. Please go ahead with your presentations. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you. Joy, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. Thank you. Good afternoon. Selamat siang from Indonesia, everyone. My name is Mahmud Aditya Rifki from Faculty of Public Health, Erlangga University, Indonesia. And today I'll be presenting the preliminary findings of our ongoing research on the menstrual hygiene perspective in Indonesia. Menstrual hygiene is not just a matter of personal cleanliness. It's deeply connected to women's health, dignity, overall well-being. When girls and women don't have access to proper menstrual hygiene product or facility, it can lead to physical discomfort, infection, and emotional stress. In Indonesia, unfortunately, this issue is still surrounded by stigma and silence. Talking about menstruation is often considered taboo, which makes it harder for adolescents to get accurate information and proper support. This topic is also strongly influenced by multiple factors, such as cultural belief, religious, the availability of sanitary facility, and also the quality of menstrual health education. This factor varies significantly across region in Indonesia, making it complex yet crucial issue to address. This statistic highlights some of major hygiene challenges faced in Indonesia. First, according to UNICEF 2021, 1 in 4 girls in Indonesia doesn't have access to sanitary pad. This is a serious issue because it affects girls' ability to manage their period safely and with dignity. Secondly, more than 20% of adolescent girls believe that menstruation is a disease based on a previous research. This shows that there is still lack of accurate education and many harmful myths. Lastly, many schools in Indonesia still don't have a private toilet or proper bins or disposal, and this makes it hard for girls to manage their period well at school and leading to discomfort or anxiety. In many communities in Indonesia, menstruation is still considered as embarrassing or even disgusting topic. This negative perception make it difficult for young people, especially girls, to speak openly, ask questions, or seek support. As a result, many suffer in silence due to shame and misinformation. This was one of the most striking statements we heard from one of our respondents, a high school student. This poster was made by students to raise awareness about menstruation. It includes label diagram at the female reproductive system, explanation of each menstrual phase, and general definition of menstruation as a natural biological process. At the top left, students share their opinion about menstruation. Some saw it as uncomfortable or embarrassing, while others were more neutral or curious. At the bottom, there is a pain scale from 0 to 10 showing how students experience menstrual pain differently. Through colorful notes and illustration, this poster aims to break the stigma and to encourage open conversation about menstrual health. Next, about menstrual product accessibility and availability. Each product comes with its own benefit and challenge in terms of comfort, cost, sustainability, and availability. At the top, we have tampons, pad, and panty liners. These are most common use in Indonesia, but not always accessible to everyone due to cost or availability. At the bottom, we feature menstrual cup, period pants, and reusable pads. These are more sustainable option, but often require more awareness, comfort, and proper hygiene practice. Menstrual health is not just about the pad, it's about access to clean water and sanitation and hygiene facilities. So without clean water and self-sanitation, we agree that menstrual health is just a dream. Menstruation is not only biological experience, it's also shaped by culture and religion. In many parts of Indonesia, menstruation is still seen as a taboo or even something dirty. This belief creates a social stigma which prevent open conversation and education. During menstruation, girls and women are often restricted from certain activities, such as in cooking, praying, or even attending school, depending on local custom. This belief vary widely across region. For example, the way menstruation is viewed in Bali can be vary in Java or Papua. So understanding this cultural difference is important so that menstrual health program can be respectful, inclusive, and effective. Here is the challenge in menstrual hygiene management. In Indonesia, limited access to affordable sanitary product, poor sanitation, lack of menstrual, and social stigma and embarrassment. So here is the recommendation of our study. We need to integrate menstrual hygiene education in school and curricula, improve wash facility, and provide sanitary product in toilet, and to break the taboo through public awareness and campaign. The conclusion, menstrual hygiene is a human right and public health issue, so it requires collaboration between government, school, facility, and also NGOs. And promoting open dialogue, inclusive policies is essential. That's all for our presentation. Thank you very much and happy Menstrual Hygiene Day from Indonesia. Thank you, and I will give back time to Joy.
Thank you so much, Doc, for that presentation. Thank you, Team Indonesia. They just conducted that research last week, so thank you for having prepared in such a short time. So we'll be moving on to the last and final country. Please stay with us. Do not leave. We intend to have a photo with all of you at the end of our session, so please do stay with us. We'll be moving on to Zambia, and we'll be sharing a video from discussions among adolescent schoolgirls, and then we'll close with an individual presentation by one of the menstrual health hygiene activists in Zambia. So for now, we will be sharing a video about adolescent schoolgirls. We will give narrations at the end of the video. Please bear with us if you do not understand everything that is being said. Thank you. Please stay back and enjoy the video.
My use funds like burning or where I can go like looking instead of right. Inafunzi lako kuchinjila mabati moya sebenzisela na moyo nisaka soko. Thank you very much. Like okay, sinezo zira mutaira mwina but nakunzirako ngate so but nezo taira chef mutoiri tikaidi kwa chekuli pizza cha kwa chini ndipo nezo taira so nakunzirako kushoka nakufaka mbili then napunzako namo kusenzesera kasopo kacha so namapati ena mwena yevatuza mazina ndivyo napunzira sasa mpasa kwa kirai siko langa ki ya 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 1 2 3 4 I have the hands I have the soap wash 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 wash. I have a talent. Native veg stands for my veg on wake up. Toka studio mandazi. Bana ma wardrobe. At least draw wasa kwanza. Waika kuna print. Baina machine basket. Bamugopa lokapeteka. Wacha pa kono kabiri ngilia kuno. Wasa bisia kieres ku six but even stand. Ola bakakwera. Ni sasa nopira hapo. Nilikuwa napambania kwa kila wewe mzee yako. Wasa mzee wa chini yangu. Kama singige mataji. At least ka hidden space ai. Maana tunajoa so chape. Maana masikiti. Sema kana tunatoka hiyo. Sasa tunachibeba moja. Waika moja. Tunachapeka bag. Tumaanza. Yule tumaanza bag. Weka mkabagi. Ukubeka kabla makoweka muno wake wakahani nani. Waika natukisia bali pose nyumba iwe. So. Kama kila ngopa mpande. Kila ngopa papa tebu. Kila ngopa kitchen kat pakabati. Kila ngopa mboto ka furugula makapesa. Kila ngopa fridge. Kila ngopa chini baba mwamba. Kobetu kwa mzama baada kukula bila kwa njichani. Hiyo ni pati ya bandana. Bati yonge. Kwa kweli ndio matazai. That's what menstruation Madam, about hygiene practices. Pango cheneste adonai. Insema price nanje, for example, wakati mwasevenze soshkosensa padi. Not because the TI shwa kurumu maybe watengana ka plastic manjo maybe walonga longa madebo funga fundo peleka pasara ula vijenebe via mabadi manungai. So fungo fungai mabadi. So funga wewe kwa wakati after 7 days.
Okay, thank you so much for listening through. So I'll just summarize in under 2 minutes what the videos were talking about. So the first two girls were mentioning about how they manage menstruation, and from our discussions and our trainings in this child group called Zikolanga in Zambia, and the exhibition that we've held, they've been able to learn a lot of things about how to manage their menstruation, usage of materials, changing, and personal body hygiene. So the students that you saw were students that we have trained in Zambia through participatory action research with the help of Dr. Skoko Nyamba, who is a pioneer of that in the lab. And you could see also the students mentioning that they did not know how to handle their waste disposal. And from our discussions with them, they've been able to change and adopt the right behaviors and perceptions. And in the video where you see them washing hands, we try to incorporate games and activities that can help them remember, not necessarily sticking to strict rules of doing it, but also including childful play when we teach them about hygiene. And lastly, the facilitators in the video who are not in uniform mentioned to the students how they should actually take care of the materials both at home and in private as well as public spaces. So that is what students have been doing in Zambia, and they meet from time to time to discuss these challenges and opportunities that they have. And so we will move on to another section, which is concerning individual sections. And so we'll be moving on to a pioneer of menstrual health and hygiene in Zambia. In line with what the students have mentioned, we would like a special guest that we have in our midst to explain to us her experiences as well as her work with regards to menstrual health and hygiene in Zambia. And so she'll be talking to us about her roles, her contributions, as well as a message for a period-friendly world. And so we'll be joined by Chibolumba, who is a dynamic and progressive young leader, an educator, as well as an advocate for youth and women empowerment in Zambia. She is also a visionary founder of the Reach One Child Foundation, an organization dedicated to supporting the education and development of young people, especially those from underprivileged backgrounds. Through her foundation, she has been able to create opportunities for children to access quality education, mentorship, menstrual hygiene, and opportunities for young people to volunteer and foster future leaders who are well equipped to overcome the challenges of the modern world. And so do allow me to welcome Ms. Chibolumba. She takes us through what she has been doing in Zambia. I will stop sharing.
Hello.
Hello,
Am I,
can
am
you?
I audible?
Yes, you
Okay,
are.
thank you so much. I was almost saying good morning because it's morning here.
You can speak louder. We are not able to hear you clearly.
Okay, happy Menstrual Hygiene Day, everyone. Am I okay?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you so much. As introduced, my name is Chiwelumpa, and I'm happy to be on this platform today to hear from experts and to also share my experience on menstrual hygiene. Through the Rich One Child Foundation. Let me just share my screen. Okay, you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So through the Rich One Child Foundation since 2009 when we started our organization, we have reached out to vulnerable girls and women through menstrual hygiene education. And one of the things that we do is having conversations, as you can see in this picture. This was 2 days ago. This was on Monday. We were in one of the highly densely populated areas in Lusaka where we are conducting menstrual hygiene awareness. And as you can see, we're talking to boys and girls. So we speak to boys and girls so that we can break taboos and shaming and the stigma and discrimination that mostly comes from the boys and the men against menstruation. So we speak to adolescent girls and we also speak to women. So women are the carriers of myths and misconceptions. So we speak to the women too so that they will be able to pass on information that is beneficial to girls. We also use social media to advocate for menstrual health, and through online conversations such as these, we speak to different people through social media and online platforms. And we also conduct fundraising activities for sanitary materials. Through the fundraising that we had recently, we were able to donate sanitary materials to over 50 girls and women that we met in John Howard on Monday. And through the work that we have been doing, there are a lot of challenges that we have encountered, or a lot of lessons that we have learned. And some of these are the lack of wash facilities in schools. Most of the communities that we serve are community schools, vulnerable schools. So they lack, for example, the place where we were is a school, and there's a pit latrine that is just outside the school, and there's no wash facility. It's not a conducive place to even change a sanitary pads. So seeing that children spend most of their time at school, it's very challenging for them to stay in school the whole day and on the period. And there's also the lack of proper menstrual hygiene knowledge. So through our outreach activities, we conduct menstrual hygiene awareness and education, and that includes breaking myths and misconceptions and taboos. And some of these myths and misconceptions that we have learned about while interacting with girls and women in the community are that girls are told not to be near males when they're on their period. So that automatically means they can't go to school because they sit next to males at school. And they are also told, we've also heard from the women that this is what they've been taught, and they pass it on to their daughters and nieces, but you can't be in public. So that automatically means you can't be in school. So we teach the women and the girls the importance of education and how such information is going to make girls lag behind in education, and it affects them, it affects their confidence, their performance in school, and their overall outcome in education is affected. as an organization that is focused on education is the worrisome thing, because what we are trying to do is advocate for equal access to education for girls and for boys. So period poverty and misconception draw us back. So that's why we focus on menstrual health and breaking taboos and myths and misconceptions. Another challenge is the cost of sanitary pads. So as it is, we have sanitary pads are not affordable. So most of the girls, what we have been through our interaction is they buy baby diapers and they cut them and they use them, and they are not as absorbent as the pads. So that means they can easily leak, but it is because of the cost. It's cheaper to buy one diaper and cut it into small pieces and use it over 3 to 4 days. So the cost of sanitary pads is also a challenge that a lot of girls and women, especially the low-income communities, are struggling with. There's also the stigma and discrimination that comes from, especially boys and men. So talking to boys and men is in the bid to stop the stigma and the discrimination. If a girl misses their uniform at school and the boy is black, they'll stay away from school for a week, just so that can die down and the embarrassment, the shame can go away. But when we speak to the men and encourage them to be supportive and to be allies, we are creating a society where boys grow up with men who are supportive. And through the support of volunteers and well-wishers, we've been able to purchase and donate materials for the girls and for the boys, and also young mothers in the communities. As you can see, there's a young girl with a baby, and apart from caring for her baby, she struggles to also find money to buy pads for herself. And we've also gone to rural communities to talk to girls, because menstruation is not a topic that mothers are going to really talk to their daughters about. So what happens mostly in the rural communities is that when a child comes of age, that's a period, to be sent to an elderly neighbor, to an auntie, to a grandmother, where myths and mostly inaccurate information is going to be passed on to them. And mostly what is passed on to them is fear. They are told, now you're a woman, now you're going to get pregnant. Now, like, there's a lot of fear and shame that is associated with menstruation. So we try to make it fun, to tell the girls that being a woman is a beautiful thing, having period means you're healthy, and just to give them the confidence to tell them, even you can be looking at me the way I am right now. I could be on my period, I go for work, I do all my work. So just to give them a happy face of menstruation and period is something that we have been able to do. We also have a lot of young women and young girls in the communities who are the next generation of women who will be passing on information to young girls. So it's important that these women are given the correct information, because most of these girls have not completed formal school. Some have dropped out, so they do not have the information about menstruation that they can pass on to the young girls that are coming after them. So we have gone to schools where we have spoken to girls, had nice conversations, and we had a lot of fun. And what we are saying is that it is possible to have a period-friendly world where girls are happy when they have their periods, where there's no stigma and discrimination. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lumpa, for that detailed explanation. Indeed, we can relate with those experiences. And we really rally with you behind that we can reach one child, one at a time. And of course, we appreciate the fact that you came up and shared your sentiments with us concerning your work. And together we believe that indeed a period-friendly world is possible. So we will be moving on to our last and final part, which is our closing remarks. And I'd like to ask Dr. Sai to just give us a few final thoughts about today's event. And I'd like also to ask that we stay for a group photo, even as we continue to celebrate and commemorate this day. Dr. Sai, the time is yours.
Thank you very much, Joy. It was so lovely to see participants from different parts of the world to celebrate and embrace this Menstrual Hygiene Day. Thank you very much for your participation. Through participation in today's event, I hope everyone, including myself, was able to have something to take back, think about, and reflect on whatever you're working on to improve menstrual health and hygiene, and encourage knowledge and thought sharing among not only women and girls, but also among men and boys. I also hope today's event is not only for sharing, but also for creating a platform and dialogue that participants can connect with each other toward a truly peer-friendly world. Once again, thank you very much for coming, and I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you, Dr. Sai. If you can hear me, would like to move on to the next segment, which is getting a group photo together. If you are able to, would love to request that you turn on your camera. Thank you, thank you. I see those happy faces. And I will take the photo. We will say Menstrual Hygiene Day, period friendly world. You can mention your country at the end. That's a lot. Period friendly world is enough. Whichever works for you, please turn on your camera, and we'll allow the technical team to give us the sign when they're ready. Please do switch on your cameras and smile. Thank you, friendly world. One more time, please smile. I can't hear you. Pure friendly world. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time today. I know we have overshot by 10 minutes, but perhaps if you have any pressing issue or pressing comment or suggestion, please don't forget to leave it in the chat. And all right. I think we'll close on that note. And of course, please do stay back if you have something that you'd like to address or mention with us. And again, from Hokkaido University, from Melbourne University, from Bangladesh, from Zambia, from Indonesia, from Cameroon, and from everywhere you're watching us from, would like to say thank you. Thank you, Professor Taria Mauchi. Thank you all, Professor Chenho. Thank you all, faculty members, students, partners, and colleagues from all over the world. This brings us to the end of our event today, our first ever annual meeting. Thank you for being here and for joining us. We hope to see you again next year as we have another meeting, have another come together session. And I hope we'll be able to hear more statements from you on how you are able to achieve a period-friendly world. And that's all from us here at Hokkaido University. Thank you so much for your time. And we would like to wish you all the best in your endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.